We have with us in the studio Chukwu Ifeanyi Chukwu, lead consultant at IFEX Global Agri Solutions, who's also an advocate for youth empowerment and development through leadership and agribusiness trainings. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. I am the lead consultant for IFEX Global Agri Solutions. It's a consultancy firm, and we're into agribusiness consulting. We're also into agribusiness trainings. We're also into agricultural equipment and machineries. We're also into agricultural products like seedlings, like fertilizers. We also do farm setup, farm management, and we're also into sales of agricultural equipment, general contracts.
Okay, so basically you're covering everything that has to do with that particular field in space.
We consult anything you need at all when it comes to the agribusiness space.
Okay, that's good to know that I have a go-to man. I don't need to start hopping around looking for different vendors. So let me start by asking, what unique opportunities do you believe agribusiness offers to young people today that other industries might not provide?
The unique opportunities, first of all, I would break down agribusiness. When you talk about agribusiness, you're talking about value chain, and it spans to a lot of opportunities. But I'll just give us three, which is like the major. We have the production, we have the processing, and we have the service provision. So if you're talking about opportunity on the production, you're talking about those who are doing the on-field farming. They go in there, they plant the crops, and they raise the animals, and they bring it out to the market. And then you talk about processing, which is not very rampant in the nation, which is part of what we are trying to, advocate out there. Because when you go to the market, you see a lot of perishable products out there getting spoiled every day, and no one is out there to process them into other finished products. So processing is something we should look into, and this is a very big opportunity. Also, service provision, which is the part where I'm also focused on, because when it comes to education, trainings, people are not well exposed with these things. And most times when you bring this training, you just train the youths and then you leave them out there without even giving them support or telling them how they can furthermore make this a reality.
Doing, yes.
So what my company is doing is also creating the opportunity to let youth know that when you learn these things, even if you don't have the resources to go into production or processing, you can stay on the service provision, whereby you educate others. And like you said, having the backyard farm, everyone here has a farm.
Wow.
Yes. For example, I have a small poultry where I have different birds, from broilers to noilers to brahmas. I don't buy eggs. My eggs are produced by my noilers.
Wow.
Yes. And I don't buy meat because I have meat.
You have that.
Yes. I also hatch my eggs, and I have chicks, and they grow into bigger chickens. So for over a year now, I have not gone into the market. So these are opportunities. And like she said, when we start advocating for this backyard farming, we will see that it will help fight this food insecurity. And, a lot of people will start having both protein and basic food. I also have other crops in front of my house. I have my plantain, I have my banana, I have my pawpaw, I have my greens, I have my special cassava, yes, which I got from organization I consult for. So these are the opportunities that are out there: production, processing, service provision. So if you find your strength in any of these areas,
you're good to go.
Yes.
Okay, this is definitely something to think about. So how can we inspire and motivate more young people to consider careers in agribusiness, especially those from urban areas? Because honestly, from my personal experience, I will say I'm encountering a lot more young people who are living in the cities wanting to go into farming. But there are a lot of people who also testify that it's not really a big thing out here. We are more driven towards tech. Things that you might get immediate gratification for, compared to, going into farming, which of course we know is a venture that requires you to have a lot of patience and perseverance. So how can we inspire and motivate young people with this mindset?
As a consultant, I don't just based on the agribusiness or the agriculture. I also bring in leadership into agriculture. And how do I do this? I go for trainings, and I train the youth. I make them understand that agriculture, just like every other field, is something we should look into, because a country that wants to develop must first of all be satisfied. They will have to eat well. If we do not have a lot of food, and the average person cannot afford to eat quality food, then they can't develop. So in agriculture, I make sure I train youths and let them know that this is not the traditional way we are doing it. Now we are bringing innovation into it. Like my colleagues have said, we now have irrigation system whereby you can do agriculture all around the year.
Year-round.
Now we also have technologies. Like if you're doing chicken, you don't need to start doing it with the normal olden ways of
Old
raising chicken
methods,
with
yes.
wood, and there are now battery cages where it's easy for you to extract the poop and then make more income, because most people just feel the chicken business is about raising the chicken and then selling the meat or just selling the eggs.
Selling
but
the
there are
eggs, yes.
other businesses out of it. You can sell the feathers, you can sell the poop, you can sell the intestines. So these are other businesses
Areas.
you can get from just this simple poultry business. So what we do out there, like my colleague also mentioned, we use social media to showcase to other youths out there that this is sexy. This is not just the way you imagine it to be, like one local thing. And I'll also use an example. Where I come from in Abia State, a lot of youths have left the village, going out there to look for white-collar jobs, to look for businesses that they can venture into. And there is somebody in my place whom till today, the house where his children come back to, the investments that he has in my place was done through palm business. I can tell you for a fact that the children who are out there hustling and doing business have not been able to put that kind of infrastructure their father kept with that agribusiness. So it's to tell you that there is a lot of opportunity. If someone as far back as in the 90s can put
Was thinking
such
in that
infrastructure
direction, yes.
with agriculture, with palm, and then the children who he gave birth to are not able to meet up to that standard, is to tell you that there are a lot of untapped opportunities in agriculture. And that is what we are doing here. We are trying to make you understand that you don't have to look tattered, haggard to do farming. You can relax in your office. For example, I'm here having this interview, and my chickens, they are doing well. I have farms that I've set up. I have a lot of things that I've done in the agri space, which if you check my social media, you can see a lot of my work. And that is to tell you that it is no longer the traditional way. It's going into technological ways. And as a consultant, I do a lot of research, and I go to different places, and I can tell you for facts, the wealthy people are into agribusiness,
Yes.
they're into agriculture, but it is hidden. If you do not do your research, you will think agriculture is for that layman who does not know how to speak English, or for that man in the village who does not know how to come out to township. You have to understand that food is the first driver of the economy.
Yes.
If you do not get satisfied, if you do not eat, you won't be able to function well. For example, the saying that goes, a hungry man is an angry man. If you're not filled up, if you do not eat well, you will not function well. Everything annoys you, even in your workplace. If you go to many offices, most people are waiting for the break time, so they can go and eat. So food is very, very important, and that is what we are doing here. See how I'm dressed.
Yeah.
If you see me on the way and I tell you I'm a farmer or I'm an agribusiness person, you will not believe. You'll be expecting that I'm one tech or one content creator or one entertainer into the creative industry. But I'm a farmer also. I have my farm. So that is what we are trying to preach out there. So leadership seminars, letting the youths know that agribusiness is important, using social media to actually put it out there so people can see it and get inspired. I have a lot of youths that have come to my DMs, gotten my phone number, and they are telling me, please, how do I do this? How do I do that? They cannot meet me or contact me if I do not put it out there. So I think everyone who is doing agriculture as a youth, be proud. Put it out there. Don't go and be hiding it or feeling like it's not something that you should be proud of. And also learn for ways that you can make it sexy, like our president said, so that when other youth see you, they get inspired.
They also want to do
and they
what you're
want to
doing.